What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we're going to talk about ZSPC last trade 11.5, where we pulled the ripcord not once but twice for a 55% profit. And with the Qs going by right now at 641 and change, is this 2007 all over again? And we're looking at a double top that's going a hell of a lot lower. All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Thursday to you. It's just after 11:30 East Coast time. Again, it's 11:37 on ZSPC. Full disclosure, we pulled the ripcord not once but twice. We caught the pullback in the pre-market at 084 and change. I sold it a penny or so too early, but we caught the rebuy at 088 on the dime. Once again, it pushed up and through another penny or so, but unless that goes through 13 cents on ZSPC last trade 1144, we made more money trading it not once but twice. And as I said yesterday, we're not day trading, we're not scalping, we're not short-term traders. We typically own a stock for a month and a half. On average, we make 30%. That's 6 wins in less than a week. Imagine if you could have made 30% on your money a half a dozen times in less than a week. You would have paid me $20, pinned in the top comment. And by the way, I challenge every single one of you, and that's 99%, if not more, to call my bluff. You play poker? You gamble at all? Call my bluff. You think I'm lying? Oh, it's the guy that's got the loud mouth and the fake Walmart jewelry. Call my bluff. Come on in, look around, kick the tires. 2 months, $20. You think I'm full of shit? You'll quit. Won't owe me another dime in the 3rd month. But if you show up and you take advantage of all the content I do every morning that you never see on this YouTube channel, you will soon figure out this is the real motherfucking deal. Well over 110 wins, only 3 losses since last August for massive triple-digit gains. You have a chance to get rich. It's going to cost you $20 for the first 2 months. Cancel any time. And in case you didn't hear me, if you think I'm full of shit, call my bluff. It's in the pinned comment below at trysmallbiz.com. All right, I believe with all my heart and soul that ZSPC is going down under a dime before the end of the day. Last trade 11.25 on the nose. It's got to go up and through 13 for us to have made a mistake trading it twice. In other words, we bought it once at 084. We didn't get a full position. It's got to go over 13 for me to look like a fool. But something tells me, in case you didn't hear me, I think it's going back down to 09.5, 09.75 before it may go higher over the next 4 or 5 days. But don't forget, they've got an NYSE fucking compliance issue that must be solved by the first week of June. And there's already a reverse split ratio approved of between 1 and 15 and 1 for 25. So be very careful trading ZSPC last trade 11 cents on the nose. I think it's going lower before it goes any higher. All right. The Qs, most importantly, 641.25. The market loves round numbers. So can we melt up and through 650? Absolutely. But as I've been saying now for the last few videos, be very careful and do not, I repeat, do not be adding to your retirement up at this nosebleed level. We are now up 12 straight days. That's never happened in the history of NASDAQ. 11 days in a row in November of 2021. And then what happened? A nasty bear market followed just a few short months later. And while I'm not calling for that, I am saying this is insanely overbought. 12 days in a row up on hopes of the Iran war ending. Have you ever heard the phrase, buy the rumor, sell the news? Well, the institutions are setting many of you up to be the fucking bag holders over the next few weeks. I'm telling you right now, they loaded the boat with us down at 555 on the Qs. You're now up 80 points, a massive 80-point rally in 2 weeks. When they solve this problem and we get a decade or more of no nukes coming out of Iran, now what? It's called sell the news. Down we come, 2, 3, 4%. The 50-day moving average is currently 601. Can we retrace to 601 to 610-ish over the next month? You bet your ass we can. And if something goes wrong, I don't know, they walk away from the deal after they sign it, you got that giant gap lower to 590 on the Qs. So max pain, in my opinion, is down to that level. I don't think, barring some unusual disaster, we're going down below 590 over the next couple of months. I also do not think we're going much higher than 650 in the Qs or 50,000 in small change, 7,000 in small change with respect to the S&P. There are a lot of smart people calling for a double top. As a matter of fact, and I showed the team this in the Discord this morning, if you pull up the 2007 chart, it's the same thing. You had a rolling top like we do right now in the Qs, right? We've been rolling. Software, Oracle, Salesforce got cut in half. We came down, and then we had a nasty 14% rally to 2.5% higher than the previous high. And then back in 2007, when we had a mortgage/credit crisis, it led to one of the nastiest great recessions in the history of this country. Back then, it was a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how we were fucked and this close to being insolvent. I was a broker coming out of it at that time, about ready to go bankrupt. I saw the housing crash coming. I had hundreds of thousands of QQ puts. My problem, I was too early. I was loading up in 2006, so I got fucking crushed. And it was death by 1,000 cuts. I could have made 4.1 million. I did the math about 1,000 times had I bought my options 6 months later, but I didn't. And through the grace of God, I lost everything and had to rebuild for the God knows how many time. In closing, we have a minor problem, Blue Owl, Apollo, etc., not letting accredited investors sell because they've got some credit issues. The Fed's all over it, unlike in 2007 and 8. It's a tiny problem. They're already throwing massive liquidity at it. And when the new guy comes in a few weeks, assuming they confirm him right away, have you seen his portfolio? He's got $100 million in equity in crypto. You think he's got an incentive to slash rates and print trillions of dollars for his own sake? Yes. And don't you think that Trump has already backed his fucking ass up against the wall and said, are you going to cut rates? Are you going to print trillions of dollars? We can't afford to pay the interest on the debt. Yes, sir. Yep, absolutely. They may be forced to wait until September, but something tells me unless we're scalding hot to new highs, you might get a cut in July, but most likely September, step aside for the election in October, and then a cut again in December. So that's 2 cuts, unlike what the bond market is saying is only 1, as far as I'm concerned, and 2 or 3 more in the first half of next year. Folks, Bitcoin's on its usual 3 years up, 1 year down. At some point between now and October, crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., is due to bottom. So whether there's a retest in Bitcoin's case at 60K, nobody knows. But 2027 and 8, the remainder of Trump's term into September of 29 or thereabouts, your markets are going higher. The price of your house is fucking going higher. And then on the 100-year anniversary of the 1929 crash, when the Dow went down 89% and the Trumpsters already said, I'll see you on the golf course, Houston, we may have a problem. Until next time, always remember that I love you, and I hope to see each and every one of you call my fucking bluff. Right now, in the pinned comment below, it's $20 for your first 2 months. Cancel anytime at trysmallbiz.com.